Okay, so you are trying to figure stuff out, and you are like, I am thinking of another income stream for my permanent makeup business. What should I do? Should I add another service? If you're a brow technician, should I add lips, scar camouflage, ISR, all those different techniques, you guys, that are beautiful for us to learn and add on to our service menu so that we can add more income, right? And that is an amazing thing for us to not just be niched into one thing. And there is that tightrope, though. Don't get me wrong. When you're just learning, you should just stick to learning brows and then lips. That way, your brain is not all like, what are you doing? This is too much learning. So, I wanted to talk to you guys today about fibroblast, plasma fibroblast technique. What the hell is plasma fibroblast? So, a lot of you may not know this, and it's actually a skin tightening technique that's been around for quite some time. I have been a fibroblast technician for the past 7 years, and I learned this when I started my permanent makeup journey. And the academy that I was learning from offered so many different classes, and I was gangbusters, you guys. And I was like, what's this? Let's take it. Let's take that. So I didn't necessarily set myself up for success because, your brain does get overload. But I'm here to tell you that I did get through it. I ended up just fine. But it isn't always easy. We won't talk about that right now. I wanted to talk to you guys about the technique. So, plasma fibroblast is an amazing way for you to, it's a skin tightening treatment basically. And so, what it does is it helps to eliminate fine lines and wrinkles and excess skin without surgery. So, you're asking yourself, why in the world are we permanent makeup artists allowed to do this? And I'll get into all the crap that people have told me before and what I had to go through, the backlash. And the thing is that it is not a laser. It is not using needles per se. It is a carbon tip, and then you can use some acupuncture needles, but we aren't penetrating into the skin. Okay, so we are using a plasma fibroblast device. So this one, you guys, is from Flamir. This is like the well-known for years and years, everybody's go-to. There's new ones out there now, which are quite amazing, maybe a little cheaper. But this guy is about $1,500. It might be a little cheaper now. I do have two of them, but it is a pen. It is not a laser. We're not drawing blood. It's not like anything that we're going to be really injecting into the skin. And what it uses is one-time copper use needles. You can get ones like this. So everything's one-time use. Basically, what the pen does is it causes an electrical current, and the electrical current is going to go through the carbon tip, and it's going to create some trauma. It's essentially a controlled burn, if you want to kind of call it that. So it's controlling the burn in the skin, and it's causing the skin and the collagen to wake up with that trauma. So just like any other skin treatment, there's all those different kinds of facials, vampire facials, micro needling. It's kind of the same thing. It's causing trauma into your skin, so it wakes up the collagen and says, hey, we're not going to be sleeping no more. Let's get going here. So that's pretty much what we use. And this is FDA cleared. It's not FDA approved. There are no FDA approved plasma fibroblasts devices ever on the market, but this one claims to be. I dug deep into this because I want to know what I'm talking about. And this one is registered. And there are no machines that are actually like FDA approved. But that's kind of the device, you guys. So it is a little pen here that actually you can control the voltage on how high you go. Now, of course, you're not going to go super high, just like in permanent makeup. When you don't crank up the speed and stuff like that, you learn how to use your machine so that you can get good results, good outcomes, right? So this technology, you guys, has been out for a very long time. And I know over in like Europe and in Asia, this is really, really popular. And I was hoping that it was going to catch on quicker over here, but it hasn't really caught on as well. And I think one of the problems too is social media. I mean, obviously, people are going to post more about the bad experiences that they've had than more than the good. So if you do look this up, there are a lot of bad experiences out there. There are some good too, but I think over the years now, it has been getting better because people are realizing that this can be a really, really good technique if done properly and the technician is trained the proper way. So for me, I got trained when I was doing permanent makeup, and at the time it was good for us permanent makeup artists to learn. Otherwise, I wouldn't have shoveled out all that money to learn it. And it's still ongoing for California body art licenses to perform this technique. Now, when I was first doing this and I was putting it out on my social media, I got a lot of backlash because, people are asking me, look, you're not an esthetician. Why are you doing this? Da 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 da. And I was like, I don't make up the rules. I don't, I mean, I was told I could do it. I got trained, so I'm doing it. And I get what they're saying. Trust me, I do. So you don't have to do a lot of comments, but I get it. We are not estheticians. We didn't have nearly as much training as you have. We don't know so much about the skin as you do. We do know, though, about the skin, and some of the training is the same. It may not be as extensive, but the thing with the plasma pen is it isn't as complicated as it seems. Yes, there are contradictions. Yes, there is ways to learn what to do and not to do in skin types. But that's what proper training is about. I don't think that because you're an esthetician that you can only do this technique, because if we said, well, we work on skin and we need estheticians should be the only ones doing this, well, body art license or body artists, permanent makeup artists and tattoo artists, we work on skin too. Doctors do, dermatologists do. So we all work on the skin. And who knows who really sits down to make up these roles? I don't. I have no idea. All I know is for the time being, I am allowed to perform this technique on people in the state of California. So people were kind of looking at like my validity. Did I know what I was doing? I had people questioning all kinds of stuff about performing this technique. So it did kind of hinder me a little bit, I'll be honest with you. I mean, because obviously you don't want to have bad juju or bad energy coming to you from people that, don't realize your situation, or, a nurse practitioner who's like looks at the after picture and yeah, it does. It looks pretty crazy. And they're like, how are you doing this? And I get it. Trust me, I get it completely. I understand. You have to be careful. You can't just burn people's skin. You can't just use this machine and think you're going to get all these results. It is with proper training. At this time, I have done numerous clients, you guys, in the past 7 years, and very careful with the ways that I handle them. I also, you guys, took 2 other online courses. So I did take the Premier online course, which was pretty extensive, and another online course also that's really popular in Europe. And I took their online courses to make sure that I knew what I was doing. But the thing is that at the end of the day, you're always going to get some sort of controversy, some backlash, right? When I started doing regular tattoos or tiny tattoos, people were like, here we go. Or, body artists were just backlashing us completely to stay in our lane. So the thing is you can choose to have people like tell you what to do in your career and just stay small, or go, you know what, I'm not going to do this. Or you can choose to not listen to them. And so that's kind of what I did. Fibroblast is under body art licenses, and that's what I choose to do. So properly trained body art licenses, again, I'll keep saying it, are good to go to train in this. Okay. So why would you add this service? Why would you add plasma fibroblast to your services? Well, first of all, it's different than permanent makeup, right? So with permanent makeup, we're getting a little burnt out after a long time. It's completely different. You still have to know all about the skin. So if you already are doing permanent makeup, and I have trained some gals that are already in permanent makeup, actually they have good knowledge already regarding the skin and the different layers. So that's always a bonus. And the skin tightening, you guys, let's talk about that. The skin tightening is so amazing. And, I did my own eyes and I got some really great results. So I had hooded eyes, and I'm thinking, I want to get rid of these hooded eyes. And I went and did it on myself. It's been 2 years now. I have to redo it again, but I have to find time for that healing. And I had some amazing results. I'll actually post my journey. I'll do a video too, a little add on to of my video of my journey of doing my eyes. So, but yeah, it's skin tightening. You can do stretch marks too. You can do removal. You can do tattoo removal. I have to be really careful. I started dabbling in that as well. You can do a whole tummy tuck. So I did somebody's tummy, and you just have to make sure that they have realistic expectations. So if they're expecting some like plastic surgery type of a result where everything's like super tight, that's not what this is. It's a very natural approach to skin tightening and eliminating fine lines and wrinkles. It does not replace plastic surgery entirely, but it is permanent. So if they want to do it, usually one is going to be a really good way to get results, but I would say up to 3 sessions, and those can be spread apart between 12 weeks. But usually, too, you guys, you can see some really good results, and they are permanent. The only thing is we cannot stop good old gravity, and we can't stop the aging process, but we can definitely help improve on it, right? So that's amazing, right? There's so many different ways that you can help people. I know some people, okay, let's not go there. So I know some people like me today got some little chunk going on underneath the arm, and I did underneath the arm. You definitely on a lady, and you can get this all tightened up, because what it does is it causes that controlled burn, and it just burns off. It's not like a scalpel or anything, but it tightens, and it'll tighten up all of this area so that you don't have that flap anymore. Now, if they lost a lot of weight and they've got like a lot of hanging skin, then this isn't going to be a good procedure for them, because you will need to get rid of some of that first. So you have to be realistic with your clients for sure. And skin tags and mole remover, you guys, that's a whole nother category, and you can do it by the area. It's a really easy process. Skin tags are a no-brainer, you guys. So definitely, consider that too. And at that point, you're not just limited to just brows and lips, you guys. Like I said, you are now adding on a whole new category so people can find you, which is amazing. All right, so there are some important realities, though, that we need to talk about. And those pretty much are the healing process. So when people talk to me about this technique, I definitely let them know, because I am like upfront with everything. I don't want no surprises. I don't want those text messages or you never told me about this. So I never I'm so informative with my clients. I let them know everything, because I get zero text messages nowadays. But the healing process, you guys, is not that glamorous. They're going to go through a healing stage that's usually up to a week, sometimes a little longer. And during that process, you will have these little carbon dots that remain on the skin. And that is part of the process. And what's left over is this little dot that will form a carbon crust. It just looks like it's brown. And that also will just fall off. And usually it can take about 7 days. I know for my eyes, it took a good 7 days for them to completely be all the way off. Now, I'll tell you, days 2 and 3 looked the worst. I looked like I got into a fight. And my husband kept walking around going, "Yo, Adrian." So if those of you don't know, that's from Rocky. I looked like I got into some serious battle, but it looks worse than it feels. It definitely is the pressure and the swelling. And if you've ever been through any type um, of a procedure that that you're going to go through plastic surgery, the swelling is part of it, and actually the inflammation stage during fibroblast is really important because that's where all the magic happens. That's when the collagen starts to get up and it starts to go, okay, we can't do this anymore, let's wake up, you guys. So this part is all part of it, and that you'll definitely, if you get your eyes done or some part of the phase, you definitely will want to have a couple days off of work, which sometimes is hard for people to get off, especially if they're in customer service. But I tell them on Zoom calls, you can't really see a lot of things, or we can wear masks now if you did like their lower part of their face. So there's ways around it, but definitely know that there is going to be a healing process where they may not look their best in the next couple of weeks. And then after those carbon dots fall off, you guys, what remains is now this fresh new pink skin. And that also can look a little different than your regular skin. So for me, I did my eyes and I did underneath. I did the entire eye lift and I did underneath. And so there was a little difference between my regular skin and my fresh skin, which was just like this little pinky tone. If you think about it, all of this skin now has been resurfaced, which, will look different. It's fresh. And it takes, sometimes a month, 2 months. Everybody is so different. And the skin, the melanin will eventually catch up to what tone you are. So that's kind of like another phase two of the healing process, because some people might be like, why is the color different now? Or, this and that. So I make sure that I explain everything to them so that they are not in any surprise mode. Also, what's important is those contradictions. So the contradictions list is, easy to access. Once you take training, you're going to know how to talk to your clients. If they're on any medications, if they've had any procedures done, make sure that they're really healthy and that they're a good candidate. So you can definitely screen your clients, but there are some of those contradictions. And another thing that really kind of sucks, and I hate this, is that it is not a good procedure for clients that are on a higher Fitzpatrick scale with their skin. So that means if you're a darker skin type, then you could risk some hyperpigmentation, which really, really stinks, because I have clients that would love to try this and I would love to give them the opportunity of, experiencing this, but there's some risks that you just don't want to take. Just like anything, you guys, training matters. Just like Botox, permanent makeup, bad training, you guys, equals bad results. This isn't a DIY type of a training thing to get into. All right, Denise, so what are the business benefits of joining a Fibroblast class and getting this going and getting some new income? Well, let me tell you, you can make some pretty decent money if you offer this. Now, just like anything else, it definitely depends on your location, how saturated the area is, which, by the way, I don't really think that where you're at, there's going to be a lot of saturation of fibroblasts. Here in Los Angeles, I'm in Torrance, we're in LA County. I'm not exactly up by, downtown or even Beverly Hills, which they charge a good chunk of money, as you know, to get this done. Just like anything else, you can get up done there. And by the way, location doesn't always matter, because I have fixed Beverly Hills brows, by the way. $1,000 brows doesn't mean that they're going to be a good technician. Just saying. Anyway, it depends on your area, and how much you want to charge, especially if you're just starting out. And these are things that I help my students with, how to determine your pricing when you're just starting out. And you could definitely earn some good money. So for example, for a long time, my eyes that I did both eyes, upper and lower, entire eye lift, for $350 for each. And it probably took me from beginning to end, with consultation, numbing pictures, maybe an hour and a half. And that is a really, really, really low price. So now what I charge is $600, and you can really make some decent money, you guys. People are looking for lip flips now. You can do a lip flip and have extra volume. You can slim the nose down and do like little nose jobs by shrinking the nose. Now, this is with all realistic expectations, of course. So you definitely have to make sure that they have enough skin to do that with and all the things. You can do eye lifts. You can stuff that Botox can get. But if they have like some deep wrinkles in here, I've done 11s a lot of times, because the thing is between this and Botox is that this is permanent. Botox isn't. But you do have to kind of do more of this, because Botox works with a muscle and it definitely will push out those fine lines and wrinkles for a limited amount of time. But this helps to restructure that wrinkle, and it helps to keep shrinking it each time, and you will get good results. But if you have we have different kinds of wrinkles. So if you have a wrinkle that, is because of your laugh lines, or you frown a lot and they're really deep set wrinkles, then of course you have to have some talks with your clients that, we're going to try to improve on these as best we can, but, it's not like it's going to be an instant thing. So definitely consultations are really important, but you can make some really good profit return on getting this going, you guys. There's fast return on your investment. It definitely helps you stand out more in a saturated permanent makeup crowd. And coming into the fall, usually the winter months are more popular with this, because obviously we're not in bikinis anymore or going on trips and traveling as much. We're more covered up too. So people are more apt to maybe take time off during, the holiday season, so that they can go through that healing time, which is nice. So, with that, you guys, I just want to encourage you to take a look at Fibroblast. If you are wondering about if this training is for you, is it just a bunch of hype? Is it like bad? Does it have a bad rap? Don't be scared of adding this new service. It definitely could set you apart, and with good training and good ethics, Fibroblast can seriously elevate your career, you guys. I know for me it did. And I have continuing clients that love to tighten their skin and get things going. Can you do this? Can you do that? I've done hands. So people who feel like they have old lady hands, it definitely can, it can rejuvenate the hands, which is nice. I could go on and on. There's so many benefits of what Fibroblast could do. But I'm here to let you guys know that it's not it's not all hype. It's a real thing. And for the time being, us permanent makeup artists can definitely offer this service, which is ironic that if you are an esthetician, you can't really offer this service. Like I said, I don't make up the rules. They're the ones that make up the rules. So that's all I got to say about that. But in my class, you guys, so I do teach this, and in my class, I go over all of this with you. We're going to do some deep dive learning on all of these things. We're going to learn about patterns. We're going to learn the best ways to pull out fine lines and wrinkles, how to handle clients, how to do pricing, marketing, all those things. And also, the value for me, and I'm not just saying this, but if you've listened to um, if you listen to my other YouTubes, I always talk about how my training was really bad, and I didn't have any mentors or anything like that. So for me, it's very important that I came up with what I call my safety net program, and that ensures that after class, you're not just standing there holding the bag. You're not just like, what do I do now? You will have lifetime access to me. I help you. I make sure that you are on a good trajectory to do good things. 2 months of free chair rental. You can come and hang out and take your clients for 2 months free here at Beautiful Radiant Inc. You can also rent a chair afterwards, so you don't have to worry about where you're going to go. I am a fully permitted studio. Lifetime access to me, you guys. I've built 2 businesses, permanent makeup businesses, on leaps of faith, mind you. It has not been an easy journey. So I definitely know how scary this can be. And that is why it's important for me to let you guys know that each step, each money, or each step, each amount of money that you pour into something that you don't know what you're going to get back, I get it. I understand. It is scary because you want this to just get going and start making money. And that's not always what happens. And that's what we have to deal with too. We have to figure out, okay, what do we do next? So that's why I thought it was good to make this video and let you know, don't sleep on Fibroblast. I've got some classes. I actually have a class coming up, and I also do private one-on-one trainings as well that are very, very affordable. I also have non-interest payment plans, which will help you. And like I said, the return on investment is really good. So let me know, you guys, if you're interested. Also, if you could do a girl a favor and like, subscribe. I just started my YouTube, so I need all the love I can get. So if you guys could go ahead and do me a favor, that would be amazing. I love you lots. Trust me, if you're here right now to the end, thank you for listening to this. And this might be something that is in your path because it came to you for a reason. So let me know how I can help you guys. Love you dearly. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye.